YouTube, it's Bass Boy again here, and this is the fourth video, number 4. This video is going to be what to do when the fish are not biting. So, let's get into it. I've written a little paragraphs about this, so I'll be looking down, so please don't complain, okay? So, what to do when the fish are not biting. Feeding patterns change daily and hourly, so that means if you're catching fish in this one spot, the fish are going to go swim up to another spot pretty quick. Because think about it, if you're being chased by a tiger, because you know how common that is, you're going to start running. And if the hunter is hunting tiger, he's going to say, oh, why is the tiger moving? So he's going to follow it. So I was actually fishing in Texas this summer where the hurricane was in Rockport, and we were following this big school of ladyfish. And you could see them moving. They were moving fast. They were about the size of it was about the size of a football field, the whole school. And they just move. But feeding patterns, they'll change. They'll keep moving. They won't ever stay in the same spot for a while. Second thing is, if you give up and go home, you're bound not to catch anything. Unless this goes for one reason. You fish in your koi pond. Why would you fish in your koi pond? You don't fish in your koi pond. Don't do that. No. So, yeah, don't give up. Keep trying. Try new bait. If you're not catching fish on crankbait, go to a minnow. If you're not catching fish on a minnow, go to a worm. Etc. Okay, get the picture? Good. There's always something going on under the surface. Whether it's water, it's moving a lot faster than normal. The bait's died off because the water's gotten hot and there's not a lot of oxygen in it. There's a lot more bait, like stuff like that. How weather affects fish. Now, sometimes weather helps fish bite better, but it doesn't really help you because you're standing there soaking in the rain or boiling in the sun. I don't like that. But yeah, it'll help because little bits of rain is okay because it provides oxygen and then the fish are a little more active. Not a downpour, just little drips. Air temp. The fish are cold-blooded, as I'm sure most of you all know. All the pros out there all know. So that means if the water's really cold, they're not going to be using up their energy as fast. Because think about it, if you're kind of like in like nice warm temperature, you're not going to be like sweating and drinking a lot of water. Whereas if you're playing on the football field, sweating your head off, you're going to most likely be drinking gallons and gallons and gallons and gallons of water. Good? Good. Fish will get hungry faster when it's hot, as I just said. Sky conditions. Alright, so if it's a cloudy day, the fish are most likely going to be up a little closer to shore because it's shadier and it should make the water temperature just a little cooler up there. When it's hot out or sunny, like very bright and sunny, they're going to go deep because it's going to be hot in those areas. Precipitation, meaning little rain. It's the old saying, fish bite better in the rain. Fish bite better in the rain. Now, a drizzle is best because it puts a little water it puts a little oxygen in the water. It doesn't put a little water in the water. That doesn't, does do that, but it's not really, no. It puts a little oxygen into the water. So that's going to help the fish be a little more active. It's not my favorite, definitely. Trust me, it's not. But it'll help. It'll help just a little. It's not like it's going to be, you're not catching anything down here and it's going to shoot up super high and you're going to be catching everything like crazy. Now, wind. This one, when I was younger, maybe 9 or 10, still working on counting. I thought wind was just terrible and I hated it and yeah. But now I figured out the wind is actually not so bad because wind, think of it as liquid current. It's like the current underwater. So, or liquid air. It's something like that. But think of wind as like underwater. Think of wind as a moving. It pushes stuff. And that will push the little bait fish up against the shore. So that's going to push all the little shad and like bluegill babies up against the shore where the fish will typically be waiting, and they'll just go up and eat them real quick. Now, it's sometimes they'll be strong enough to move stuff on the bottom, so it'll like push up the crawfish and such. And sometimes waves will even break the surface like that and create a little oxygen, which the foam comes from. Next page. The wind will also push around crawfish, which the smallies love crawfish. Love, love, love. It's like putting like a 5-year-old in a candy parlor and saying, don't need anything, but no one's watching. And where'd the candy go? Water temperature. Bass, crappie, sunfish, white bass, catfish all prefer the 75 to 85 degree temperature. Now, if it's a little hotter than that, they're not going to be biting. So if it's a little cooler than that, they're not going to be biting. They'll bite better in their preferred temperature. So don't be fishing for walleye when the water's 80 degrees. Bringing up walleye, pike, perch, and muskie, which are like the bigger, like, tough fish, I think. They'll like the 60 to 70 degree water, which is definitely cooler. So you won't be catching bass and pike in the same area, just because pike won't be in that area as often. You won't be catching one or the other as much as the other. But yeah, trout and salmon, those two, will be in the much cooler water, which is 55 to 65. So they'll be in that water, much cooler. Water clarity, meaning if the water, like muddy water where it's like someone just dumped mud in the water, clear water where you can see about 50 feet down, and then just dark water, which is just terrible. I don't like it. But when it's just rained, as you typically know, when it's just rained, it's a lot muddier. When it hasn't just rained, it's typically a lot clearer. When it's clear, you can see the fish, but the fish can also see you much easier. So just generally thinking. Flip the page. So they'll hide a lot, definitely when it's what was I? Oh yeah, they'll hide a lot when the water's very clear, because they can see everything that's going on. They'll be like, where is everything? Ah, there's a crane. Ah, there's a fisherman. They'll like see every little thing. Next thing, water level. Now again, that thing isn't as important, but still had to write it down. Water level. If it's shallow water, if it's very shallow, or if shallow water is rising, like say there's a pond, it's 10 feet deep, so not bad. And then there's like a big flat area around it, and that area starts getting like a foot deep. Don't fish there, because typically there won't be fish unless you have like a weed bed, and then there might be some frogs with some bass hunting the frogs. But you want to stay where the deeper water is, because generally that's just a little better, because it's always cooler. When the water rises in creeks and rivers, that means the current will get stronger, pushing new bait fish and like little creatures in. So that's always good. Fish typically will not eat until the water level goes back to what like area it should be. So like if you're fishing a massive hydro dam thing, I don't really know what you call that, but one of those massive dams, and it'll drain the lake a little, like maybe a couple feet. The fish typically won't bite because it's been drained so much, so they'll bite when the water kind of gets back up. Current, liquid wind. Think of it as that. Think of current as if you're a fish, it's wind just underwater. Predator fish will follow the current. So say my finger's a current. Oh, it's flowing that way. There'll be little bait fish that are like, oh, what's this? And they'll swim right into it, and they'll get stuck, and they'll be like pushed down. Then there'll be bigger fish just kind of hanging around where it's like where it's not as fast. And then they'll just come up, and the bait fish kind of comes out of the fast stuff. They'll just kind of go up and take it and come back and just wait, and they'll go bite it. So the next thing is, okay, I'll be right. Predator, fish downwind. Downwind shores are a lot better to fish instead of upwind, because it's just how it blows, the wind. Next, don't use the same bait if you're not catching fish. Change baits. Change the spot you're fishing. If you're not catching fish in that spot, change the spot. If you've been using soft plastics, go to crankbaits, as I said in the beginning. Try smaller or slower lures if you're just using big and fast ones. Think about this. If you were just eating a steak, one of those big steaks, yummy, and someone said, oh, here's another steak, you most likely wouldn't eat it. But if someone said, oh, here's a scoop of ice cream, you'd probably eat it. So think about that with the fish. They might have just eaten a big bluegill. They're not hungry for another bluegill. They may be hungry for like a little cricket or something. Don't try, if the bass are not active, don't try fast moving baits like buzz baits and poppers and like lipless crankbaits. Don't fish midday. Don't fish midday. Very hot, bad fish. Fish will dive straight down. Finally, try again another day. If you're not catching fish, sorry, but you might need to try again another day. That just might help you. That is my last fact for the day. Please subscribe to the video. That really helps. Leave a like if you can. See you next video. This is the 4th video. See you on video 5. Bye, guys.